again for you to share with all of our listeners. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. Like, what would you say is like a starting point? Like, do you have a particular like moment that you can, as you reflect back, and say this was like the beginning?
I don't know if I have a moment, but I do have sometimes when I sit down and like reflect on my like adolescence and young adulthood and how kind of differently it seemed that I approached certain things that, my peers didn't really find those things, they didn't really experience or see things from my perspective. I would say even as a teenager, even I would have there would be like a lot of issues around dating somebody somebody already dated. Like that was a big issue for me in high school that I never could understand.
Mhm.
So much conflict around, oh, I dated him, so now you can't date him. I don't even understand. Like that was something that just never clicked for me, never made any logical sense. I had a high school boyfriend and we were long distance, and neither one of us, we were not monogamous, and we knew it wasn't, neither one of us expected the other to stay faithful or
Mm.
have fidelity. And that was just part of it. And I remember I would hide that from my friends.
But did you and him talk about it openly?
No, it just
Okay.
was, and we just accepted it. But
It
like,
was like an unspoken.
so I mean, all right, so I'm not gonna name names, but my high school boyfriend was a basketball player, and when he played basketball in college, and the college I went to, I was talking to a guy on campus while he was my boyfriend, and when they played each other, they spoke about me on the court. Like my high school boyfriend was like, "Hey, I know y'all talk. Take care of her." So no, we didn't talk about it openly, but it was known.
Mm.
But I kept that to myself. Like none of my friends knew that about my relationship with my high school boyfriend. None of them, that was something that I felt like my friends would be like, you're so stupid for tolerating that. But it was a good deal for me too, like I felt like we both got to kind of have our experiences, and it felt free. There were a lot of not so great things about that relationship, but the freedom was there,
Okay.
and I valued that.
Okay. So once again, like that's more of like a reflective thing where you're like, it's kind of always been in me in that way. And it's kind of something
Exactly.
you could tolerate. And mentally it wasn't, it didn't cause cognitive dissonance for you to experience non-monogamy in that way, even though you probably didn't have the language for it that we're using today.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I didn't love him, right? It wasn't that I didn't care about him. And a lot of times I think there's like a, conflation of those two things. Oh, I don't want you to spend time with other people because I care about you so much. If it was like the opposite, it was like I care about you so much that I want you to be able to sow your wild oats a little bit. Like